climate change is there, it's a reality, we are not doing absolutely enough. And maybe time is not even left. It's gone. The problem won't be fixed anymore.
I don't think we can fix it during our lifetime for sure. It's gone very fast lately, like how fast we've destroyed the world. And I think we can break that and definitely improve it. But it's going to take many, 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 many 100 years for us to get the world back to where it should be.
There's so much show and talk and not that much delivered in terms of making the world a better place to be. Everyone say the same, right? Do you believe that in tech we do enough?
Last 20 years where things have developed super fast when we talk about like iPhone and Samsung, electronic cars. Speaking about that, I do feel that we say to technology that it's been doing an amazing job the last 20 years. We should have also come up with more solutions that will affect the world more positive, definitely. My name is Fredrik. I'm from Sweden. I'm 26 years old. Um, I'm an entrepreneur. I'm a founder of a marketing agency, and everything started a couple of years back, honestly, where I looked myself in the mirror and didn't kind of know where I wanted to come in life and wanted to be, and I felt that I didn't want to work 9 hours a day for the rest of my life and work on an average and live on an average pension when I'm older. And pretty much decided that I want to have a major impact on people around me. I want to be able to give back to everyone that has been, um, yeah, in my life and had a good effect on me. So, yeah, that's the motivation behind where I decided to start, and that's who I am today. I'm a hardworking guy. I'm a social guy. I love sports. I love music. I love exercising. I love working hard for something that I'm passionate about. So yeah, that's a very brief introduction, but yeah, that's me.
That's great. I mean, as you start to be an entrepreneur, what was the motivation behind? Why did you decide to take such a tough road in life? It's a very tough path.
Yeah, it is. It is. Yeah, as I said, that I briefed is that I didn't know what I wanted to do. So honestly, it just started with me going into the Swedish university and looking around for some courses and some programs. And I thought, like, hey, I'm just gonna try things out. So I started to study marketing, and I realized that it was very fun. And then I kept further develop that, and so I studied some business economics and some accounting to see if being a founder and a CEO and running a business could be something that is interesting that I like doing, and I found out that I love it. I enjoy it a lot. So that's how it started. But the motivation to actually do it is I'm very ambitious about this. I wanted to break free from the like 9 to 5 rat race. I wanted to be free from location, free from um, time, free from money. I wanted to be more in control of my own life, because most people spend their whole lives working for someone else, working for a company they might not enjoy so much, and they spend 8 9 hours every single day there, and that scares the shit out of me. I didn't want to end up there when I'm in my mid age and feel that I'm stuck at a company where I don't enjoy and where I complain a lot and where I have an average salary. Instead, I wanted to early in my life get free from that before I'm 30, just escape the rat race, have a business that is going well, and being able to provide, like give back to the world, to people around me, to be free, to see the world, to enjoy and have fun. That's the motivation, to get out and be happy.
I mean, be the boss of yourself is always very good, correct?
Yeah, exactly. To be in control, right? To control your time, control your assets, to control everything that is happening around you.
What was, I mean, how do you feel when you started? I mean, you can't start overnight, of course, there's a process behind. But what's the feeling? Did you feel scared or very excited? How was it?
I mean, both. It's a mix, of course. I mean, there are some butterflies when you do it because you're like, oh my god, I'm doing it right, and there's definitely some scary parts. Like when I signed my first client, I was scared because I was like, do I really know what I'm doing, or how do I even send an invoice? How do I create a contract? How do I sign a contract online with someone? Digital signs, like all these different parts. How do I keep my books in order and not messing around with the tax office, and all those different rules and laws that you need to think about, right? So it was definitely scary, but it was more exciting, I think, for me. But yeah, scary as well. I mean, definitely, you're on deep water, like you're out on deep ocean. You
You
don't
are
know everything. So, but that's
indeed.
part of the process.
In between all this process, where do you find the most difficult part? Where you really struggle at the very beginning?
Yeah, definitely those things like registering a company, working in line with like laws and regulations. Like, just for example, take cold emailing as an example. Like, there's different laws and regulations you need to comply with depending on what country you're targeting. I had no idea when starting out. I thought like, hey, I could just send an email to whoever I want, but you can't. Yeah, like there's a lot of laws and regulations around how you can market in different countries, and those parts, like you don't want to mess up. That's what's scary, and you don't want to mess up with the wrong like authorities, so to say. So that's the scary part, but do your research and you'll be fine.
Be an entrepreneur, be a founder. What was the impact? Did it impact your life in a good and a bad way?
I mean, good. Um, I feel more confident than that. I know I can achieve things if I just get to work. I feel disciplined. I feel I have it. I have what it takes, and I've proven to myself that you can go your own path. You don't need to do what society says or what people around you think is the smartest move. You can do what you think is good, and yeah, I've proven that to myself for sure, and that impact is amazing. I feel happy about it. Um, I feel, um, I feel that I have courage.
Many times when I talk to the founders, they try to have a routine in place. You do
Sure,
something similar?
absolutely. I'm trying to. I mean, the most difficult part in the beginning for me was to find a balance, because it's very difficult when you are very ambitious and you want to achieve things and you want to do it fast, that you work very very hard and you actually forget to either rest but also to feel pleasure and enjoy, and accepting the process. Sometimes you just want to go from A to B, but you don't want to like be present with everything that is between A and B, and that was the difficult part. But speaking about routine, during weekdays I'm trying to get up early. I have a routine where I get up 6 a.m. I want to start my day fresh, so usually I exercise, I meditate, and I journal. That's the three components that is crucial for me to get in the correct state of mind. I try to be off my phone for the first 5 6 hours, instead working there when I don't have so much distractions. Those are the mainly routines that I really try to have every single day. Then usually I work from probably 7 a.m. until maybe 7 p.m. or 8 p.m. And I'm trying to close down the computer there because sometimes I get stuck on things and I have the computer open until 9 10 p.m. But I think it's super important to get off, and also maybe read a book or watch a series or taking a walk or talking to your loved ones, maybe call your mother or your best friend or whoever, and just laugh and enjoy and network as well. So yeah, those are the three most crucial routines. That's, as I said, like exercising, meditate, and journal. But around that, it can definitely float around a bit. But yeah, starting the day in a good manner is the most important part.
It is indeed. Uh, the life of founder is pretty much a roller coaster. So, have you ever thought I'm not qualified enough? It's too tough for me.
Sure, definitely. I mean, there's been that moment where I doubt myself, where I lose my confidence, of course. But that's why I think it's so important to clarify why you're doing it from the first place. So those days, like I've written down all those things. So I have documents where I have my why, where I have my ideal life in 10 years, in 20 years. How do I want to live? And those days where you feel that, what am I doing? Why am I doing this? Why am I putting so much working hours, effort into something that might not be with success, right? And then you just go back and you read those parts that you wrote when you decided to start, and you realize that it's going to be days where you doubt yourself, where you're unmotivated, but you have your why. So figure out your why so you can go back and read it when you feel unmotivated, because then you feel like you notify your brain, right? So you remember again, like, yeah, right, yeah, this is the reason I'm doing it. And then you can find some motivation, hopefully, and just get through those a little bit tougher days.
You must keep motivating yourself, otherwise it can be very, very tough. The up
Sure.
and down, high and lows are just too many in a day, in a week, in a month. They're uncountables.
I mean,
But yeah,
it's easy to work when you're motivated, right? I
of
mean,
course.
it's super easy to work when you're motivated. So people work a lot to find motivation, but I would say find discipline, because discipline, working with motivation is easy. Discipline is what keeps you working when you're not motivated. So find discipline.
You need motivation, resilience, and discipline. How do you keep yourself motivated and resilient?
Yeah, as I said, it's going back and clarify your why. Why do you do it from the first place? Have that figured out. And I mean in a very deep sense. Like people can say, yeah, it's I want to have a lot of money so I can have a nice car. That is good. It's super good. That is something awesome, and I really admire people who buy themselves gifts and when they have achieved something. And think you should enjoy those luxury things if you can. But I also mean in a deeper sense, like, why do you want that car? Why do you, and keep asking you, okay, I want that car because it goes fast. Okay, why do you want to drive fast, and why do you want to do that? So in a deeper sense, like, keep asking yourself why until you really find what's the underlying unconscious, like, thought that made you want to have that car or buy that house. Like really go in a deep level to find that why. So that's what I've done, and then it's very simple for me when I'm unmotivated. I wouldn't say simple, of course I have days where it's really tough, but it's easier, at least if I have
Yeah.
that figured out, because I can go back and read it, and I can remind myself that those are
As
the
you say,
reasons.
motivation helps a lot. But in your daily routine, I'm not talking about the wake up in the morning and so on and so forth. But when you're working, what actually you enjoy the most?
I enjoy a lot of the sales calls. I've been in sales for 5, 6. How old am I? I'm 26. All right, I've been in sales almost 8 years, since I was 18, 19. And I've always enjoyed negotiating. I've never felt like that. Of course, I felt a bit scared first time, but I've always looked at it as like psychology. Like, I think it's interesting that you can reach out to someone that didn't think about your service at all, and after a couple of meetings, you can get them to pay you a certain amount of money for a service they didn't even know exists. I think that is super interesting, and I think the psychology around sales and marketing is super interesting. So I enjoy sales calls. I enjoy talking to people and having meetings like this and interact and see what problems I can solve. And yeah, I enjoy that.
Normally sales guy, they really detest accounting, compliance. They are very, anyway, who likes, nobody likes probably. They are very boring, but anyway, someone must do it.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I don't like accounting. It's super boring. So yeah.
What about your life outside working? How do you spend your time with your friends? What do you do?
I'm sports guy. Love sports. Love live sports, live events. I watch a lot of football and ice hockey, which ice hockey is a huge sport here in Sweden. So spend some time doing that. I exercise a lot, and being with friends. I'm very social. I love going out, eating at a good restaurant, or going to a bar and have a good drink and talk, like network, and be with your friends and laugh. And I really enjoy that, and going out in the nature and talk. As I said, talk with my family, talk with my friends. I'm a talkative guy. I love joking around and having fun. I really like that. So yeah, playing music also. That's the creative side of my spare time. I play instruments, mostly guitar, but also sometimes piano. And
I mean,
yeah,
enjoy the life. It's a good part of being an entrepreneur. You must do. You can't work night and day. You need some break and having
yeah,
some fun. Right?
exactly. And that's what I said in the beginning. The balance, it was something I struggled with in the beginning because I felt it was difficult to enjoy when I knew I had things that had to be done. But sometimes it doesn't matter if you wait an extra hour to maybe, I don't know, go through that email and instead try to also rest and find balance. That's the point. And I struggled a lot in the beginning, but lately I've been doing really well. And honestly, having fun as well and enjoying life will make you work harder when you work, because then you don't think it's that boring, or you don't see like I'm working all the time. So instead, when you work really, really hard, and you're actually more efficient with your time if you try to have balance.
I mean, what about startup tech ecosystem? The same me. I remember when I started investing in startups in 2014. Maybe there were two, three events. Maybe now we have four events per country per month. So tech ecosystem grow exponentially.
Yeah.
But my point is, all these noises, there are so much noise around. Do you believe that in tech, in the venture capital ecosystem, including, of course, startups, uh, everything around it, we do enough, or there's so much show and talk and not that much delivered in terms of making the world a better place to be? Everyone say the same, right? But I can't see that much yet.
That's a huge question, and it's very difficult, of course. But yeah, as you say, when we talk about tech, there we talk about the last 20 years where things have developed super fast. When we talk about like iPhone and Samsung and electronic cars and everything. But speaking about that, I do feel that comparing to how far the technology have come, there are definitely some parts that I feel that we should have been doing that we are not, for sure. I mean, we're talking about environmental aspects, uh, for example, where we have a lot of technology that it should be able to definitely have a bigger impact, but I feel that it does not. We're talking about solar systems or everything around, especially here in Sweden. We talk about that a lot. But yeah, yeah, I feel that comparing to how like much we say to technology that it's been doing an amazing job the last 20 years, we should have also come up with more solution that will affect the world more positive, definitely. But
let's say let's stay with the ecosystem. Do you think climate change is there? It's a reality. We are not doing absolutely enough, and maybe it's not even time is not even left. It's gone. The problem won't be fixed anymore.
um, yeah, kind of. I don't think we can fix it during our lifetime for sure. We can definitely like break the like it's gone very fast lately, like how fast we've destroyed the world, and I think we can break that and definitely improve it, but it's going to take many 100 years for us to get the world back to where it should be, for sure. And we can definitely, as I said, we can break the scaling as it's been and slow it down a lot, so we're not destroying the world that fast as we've been doing. But fix it completely, that's a tough question. I mean, there's so many aspects of how we have been destroying it, and there's so many industries today that I think won't change for a long time, and I think for those reasons we will still keep destroying it, unfortunately. And unfortunately, everything is about money rather than
Difficult.
saving the world. Yeah,
It's difficult to balance welfare state,
exactly,
growing the economy,
exactly,
and saving the planet. It's
exactly. And
very
if it
difficult trade-off.
yeah, if it's a big economic loss to save the planet, most governments or companies won't do it. So
Yeah,
that's the problem, I think. The way of seeing it, and for me, it's what. How much does it matter if you earn an extra million if the world doesn't exist? So,
correct.
yeah,
That, that's the point.
yeah,
Uh, what about let's say you can tell me the three most important things, the very much the ones that touch you, you are willing to fight for, your strongest believing. What do
yeah,
you
sure.
believe? I mean, what do you believe in? I don't know. For example, friendship. I mean, what
Mhm.
really matters for you now today in this world?
For sure, friendship and my relations, I'm willing to fight for those. I have strong values in who I decide to get to know better, for sure. I'm not like I'm a social guy, but I'm definitely very selective when it comes to who I want to really get to know better. And I really value my relationships, those I have. I really spend time, and I think people should. I think in today's society with social media and everything, people have so much like relations with people they like don't know. So I think get deeper into your relationships instead, and keep your close ones really close to yourself and get to know them on a deep level. uh,
Let's describe a function. I don't want to say fake, but it's not a real relationship at all, right? And I mean, using social media is the by far the best way to feel alone. Indeed, you are alone. If you're spending
exactly.
time on social media, means you're alone. That we
Yeah,
can do.
exactly. I mean, and people like loneliness and being alone. That is two different things. And there are people I know that feel lonely, even though I know they have, I don't know, thousands of followers on their social media pages, and they talk with people all the time online, but they feel lonely because they don't have those deep relationships, right? So I think develop quality over quantity when it comes to relations. It's better to have few really meaningful relationships rather than having, I don't know, 200 friends, but you barely know their names, right? So yeah,
That's
that's
correct.
that's one of my biggest value points for sure.
Indeed.
And
Do you have any time to read? And if yes, I presume, uh, Do you have any book that really changed your life?
Yeah, I read a lot. I try to keep up with reading one book a month. That's the goal. So that's going well. It's soon, yeah, it's soon May. I've been reading three and a half now, so this year, so I need to catch up a bit. But yeah, one book a month. Right now I'm reading The Art of Negotiation. Great book so far. The book that have had most influence on me and that really changed my way of seeing things is Seven Habits of Highly Effective People. I love that book. It's a book I preach about to people around me, and I got it twisted with that book because I thought it was going to be a book that was like for people who wanted to like structure their day and be effective. But it's so much more than only for entrepreneurs or people who want to like achieve things. It's a book like those habits are not only like meditate every morning and run 30 minutes. It's more habits about how you should think about like life and like how you should interact with people in relationships. Like one of the habits is try to be understood before now try to understand before trying to be understood. Like though that's one of the habits, and it means like try to like understand people around you before you're trying to like get your point across, because that will give you better interactions and you will have a better understanding for people around you, and then you will have better relationships. So they talk about many different things. They talk about paradigms, for example. Like that was a huge shift for me, like how you can really change your beliefs if they go in a deep level, and everything that you've seen and experienced through your whole life have had an impact on how you're seeing the world and how you watch things and your perspective, and everyone sees the world from their own glasses. And yeah, it talks about crazy stuff, and I they talks about like those habits. It's not only, as I said, like action steps about like how you should structure your day. It's more habits, like habits on a deeper level. I would say it's habits on a deeper level, like really thoughtful habits. And that everyone should read that book, even if you're not looking to start a business or like being an entrepreneur or being the CEO of a huge company. Like everyone should read it. It's a book that would have a major impact on anyone, I believe.
Me habits, the way you see things, it makes a massive difference.
Yeah,
Because we
exactly.
almost do the same stuff, all of us, but the perception of what you're doing is totally different. The
Exactly.
way the angle we are watching things, the deepness that you have, change totally, change completely from one person to another.
Yes.
That's the beauty, right? That's not
Yes.
interview. What about movie? Do you have any time? Do you like to watch any movie?
I'm honestly, I'm not a movie guy. I do watch movies sometimes, but I'm not like super into movies. So but yeah, I've watched most classic movies, of course. I when I was a kid, I loved like Lord of the Rings and Harry Potter and all those like sci-fi and adventure movies, of course. But yeah, lately not watched a lot of movies. If I'm speaking about um inspirational movies, I would say the best movies I've been watching is either Jobs by Steve Jobs, because they really, really shows what hard work means. Or The Founder. It's about the franchise history of McDonald's, which is also a great movie to watch if you want to find inspiration. I think those two are movies that really inspired me to like work hard for something. And those you should read them, if you should watch them if you're looking for inspiration to yeah, get going and take action for sure.
The best lesson that life taught you.
That's a big one. Responsibility, I think. Like you always have a choice, and that like if you just surrender to the flow of life and try to not control everything that's happening around you and just be present and yeah, have a good intention with things you do, you will definitely earn back, and you will definitely be a happier person if you're just surrendering to the flow of life. That's a sentence I love. Just surrender, and and just be present with what's happening and be okay with what's happening, and as I said, try to not control everything, because if you just let things happen, promise you, like, wonderful things will happen to you.
Go with the flow.
Go with the flow, exactly. Go with the flow.
Go
I
with the
love
flow.
that, and that might be like a cliche, like go with the flow, but it's not. Like, you can really try to go with the flow and just like see things as they are. Like, try to not judge too much, and like be
Yeah,
present.
that's correct. Me, I'm sure you have many wishes, but what is the biggest one?
I have a lot of wishes, of course. As I said in the beginning, I want to have a major impact, definitely. I want to give back, but one of my greatest wishes and a huge motivation for me, it's to buy my mom a house. That's the greatest.
That's beautiful. That's
Yeah,
beautiful.
she's always wanted one. She had not been able to buy one, unfortunately. But I want to provide that because she's been just the most amazing mom I could ever wish for. So that's the least I can do to fight for that for her. Otherwise, I wish a lot. I wish for peace in the world and that all poor kids get food. All those big things. But those are just too big things for me to fix alone. But definitely something I will try to provide for my whole life.
Let me close with a recommendation. If you can recommend anything to all the founders watching this podcast today,
Yeah.
what do you have to say them?
I would say try to take action rather than trying to plan too much, because you will learn all those things you're scared about and that you think you can prepare yourself about. You will learn them if you just do them. So if you're thinking about, oh, I don't know, that it's scary, blah blah blah, just do it, because that's the only way you will learn it. So uh, yeah, I've wasted time or procrastinated a lot trying to figure out things that you can't figure out. Do you see my point? Sometimes you're trying to like figure out things in your brain before doing it, but the only way to figure it out is actually doing it. So it will be, you will feel some resistance when doing it, but if you feel resistance, it means it's good, because it means you're developing and you're going out on deep water. So I think, yeah, you should feel resistance. It's part of the process. Just do
That's
it.
correct.
That's
The point.
the Don't
That's the point.
procrastinate. Yeah.
That's the point. What's the point to procrastinate? Just do it, and if you fail, that's fine. Go
You
ahead
learn
again.
something. Sure. Exactly.
Fredrik, thank you so much for coming to the Founder Talk. It's been an absolute pleasure for me. Thank you.
Thank you for having me again. It's been an absolute pleasure for me as well being here. So thanks.